Hey guys, and welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. Today, I'm going to hit a quick topic. Was thinking about because I have a daughter, and I was thinking about the different types of maps, expectations, and blueprints that society being they, have about gender. And I got to thinking about this stuff because my daughter is a beautiful, wonderful girl. And already, even at age 9, I'm able to see the beginnings of gender expectations for her because she's a girl. I remember when she was young, she used to love to watch Thundercats with her brothers because she has two older brothers. Imagine the tomboy syndrome running wild. And she used to like to be various characters in the show, and she wanted to be the character Lion-O, who was the Lord of the Thundercats and happened to be a male. And so she would say that I'm Lion-O, and she would raise her imaginary sword and say the things that he said. And I remember one day one of my sons looking at her and saying, "You can't be Lion-O." And she says, "How come?" And he says, "Because you're a girl." And at that point it hit me. And I know at some point I would have to deal with this. So I want to talk to the ladies out there. I don't know if any of you seen the YouTube videos hashtag like a girl. It was very moving for me, and it was very interesting as a reminder that we have all kinds of imposed limitations that we put on people based on gender. We even give perceptions which determine how much help we give people and how much empowerment or disempowerment that we encourage based on their fitting into a social norm of gender. And so what I want to say today is that gender is pretty much crap. The women in America should be able to do just as much as the men if they choose to do it. The men should be able to do things that used to be typically reserved for women if they wish to do it. And they should not have to deal with the slings and arrows of gender expectations and perceptions simply because they want to do something that maybe traditionally hasn't been done. So, you know what, ladies? I admire the fact that they now have things that were typically more masculine, like MMA fighters for women. I see women in construction work and engineering and many things that stereotypically they weren't supposed to be able to do because they were a girl. In my own chosen discipline of bodybuilding and weightlifting, it was a very nice thing to see very powerful women doing amazing things, both setting records in the gym and powerlifting and also in developing their physiques to mammoth proportions and having great potential. So this is just a quick one to say that, you know, any of you that are experiencing issues with people thinking that you can't do this or that because you're male or female, you know what? Part of the reason why things unfold in society changes is because we change it. We change and challenge social norms. It doesn't mean that we should abandon everything that made this country great, but there are some social norms that have to evolve. And on the reverse side, for example, with men, you know, there are men who love things that were traditionally women's roles, like cooking, like hairdressing and makeup and design and fashion. And I think that that is wonderful because there's a creativity aspect to some of the traditionally feminine things that I think all guys need. Yeah, you heard me, guys. That means that you should get out there and be creative and do some fun things. And I know some of them we've kind of transcended some social norms with some of the things that I mentioned, but there's a lot of gender perception that still goes on with certain things, particularly when it comes to men who are somewhat effeminate in their nature. I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit later on in another talk, as well as women who are masculine in their nature. But you know what's funny? We all have a little bit of masculine and feminine in our makeup, in our psychology. And even physically, there are some overlapping things that are equal with genders. And I think it's a crime to not honor what you feel. If you are a man who loves to dance and express himself and paint and basically be and do things that were typically considered feminine, by all means, you should do it. Don't be stifled, because until you become yourself and do the things that are in your heart to do, then you can't give your best gift to the world. So if you don't do the things that you need to do for you that make you feel good and let you express who you are, you're robbing all of us of several different things, including the chance to embrace your gift with you and the chance to challenge our own perceptions about what we think is appropriate or acceptable. So, for those of you girls out there that want to do things that were traditionally guy, including my daughter, who may someday want to be, God only knows. Go for it, enjoy it, have a great time with it. You men who want to be feminine and expressive and open in ways that are traditionally not male, I encourage you to go for it too. Because some of the things that you want to embrace are part of what's going to open up your very life and contribute back to the world all the things that are wonderful. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. Send me some feedback, send me some comments. Those of you that like it, subscribe. Those of you that don't, that's what search engines are for. You will find what you need, and they're out there. So in the meantime, thank you for sharing my armchair, and have a great day whenever and wherever you are.